Well, that escalated quickly. Not that I'm complaining, I prefer fast pacing, but a lot of people were asking that they liked the gonna be the character development, and this was going on a little bit too fast. We see a little bit more depth of Inasa's character. I mean, I really hate that guy, but not because how he treated Todoroki, but only because, well, he's that kind of guy. He's too loud and a little bit obnoxious. But it turns out mm, he has always been like that. This was his nature. He had a short attention span. Would be so interested in anything, and he wouldn't even know fear. I don't even think he knows fear now about it. And he loved heroes because, well, they were just they, uh, and because he was the kind of guy that was always stuck about favorite thing, that always got stuck by things, and didn't know fear. Uh, he liked heroes because of the way they found themselves in a pinch and threw their soul and souls into it. And he couldn't stand Endeavor because his eyes were not watching on things, only far ahead. And that's the only thing he despised. He despised people with eyes that are always looking far ahead instead of eyes that are looking at people, I guess. And so we see a flashback on when he was actually in the entrance exam. Turns out that, well, there were many recommended students. I thought for sure that they were all recommended and they automatically got in, but no, they also had to do a test a little bit more advanced than the others. Seems to be a 3 kilometers marathon, and the ones who made it they would made it. And Inasa really wanted to win this. But he was also a little bit worried about how Todoroki, so he still decided to give him a chance. And he made it a goal almost the same time. But even though he tried to talk to Todoroki just pushed him away in his anger. He didn't never and called him a nuisance. And that was broke Inasa's heart. However, it's during this moment that after when Deku is screaming them, "The hell are you doing?" and the rest of the people don't think they can make that. The Todoroki's strategic mind is finally snapping back again, and it turns out that he thought he didn't remember Inasa, and it turned out he didn't. Back then, Todoroki was so consumed with hatred and, well, I wouldn't say self-pity, but let's just say hatred and self-loathing, that he actually really didn't remember Inasa because he didn't see him. He was just so blinded by that. Uh, he remembered that a guy like Inasa was that loud. Uh, But back then he would only think in order to deny Endeavor. That was the only thing he saw, therefore he wasn't looking at him. So he remembered everything about what he was taught. And he decides to get his head in the game. Unfortunately, Orca and the gang with the teamwork finished them off. Elsewhere, Todoroki... No, not Todoroki. Todoroki and Inasa do realize that they were, messed up. So this is actually some quite quick development, but hey, it's better than nothing. And Deku has successfully managed to take Shindo a little bit away, and Shindo does a quake move to get away from the minions. I thought that guy would have actually learned himself a lesson after this, but no, he is still being very arrogant about it. The reason why he still can move even though he was paralyzed by Gang Orca's effect is because of his quirk. For some reason it says our quirks, but his body is a powerful quirk, shake. But he at the same time his body shakes itself after he uses it. So he put them out of commission and Deku decides to finish them off, I guess. But before Todoroki and Inasa completely falls off. They think to each other, we need to, then they need to do this. So, so even if they're done, they decides to trap Gang Orca into a vortex of wind and fire. So, yeah, even though they couldn't communicate with each other, they did manage to do that one good combination. And even though Inasa hated Todoroki, and Todoroki realized what kind of jerk he was. One has to realize that Todoroki was quite a jerk back then, but I know, unlike some many jerks, his was more tragic. The fact it's so sad that Todoroki really had to become that consumed with the hatred and stuff. But I like quick developments. Oh, but still, this chapter was some quick actions. Not exactly much I wanted to see, but I do crave more. So, will this trap Gang Orca and is Enas and Todoroki out of this exam? Give me your thoughts if you have any.